What's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It is Saturday night. It is the 9th of December. It is 2017, and it is snowing like you read about in a snowing magazine, I would imagine. But let me check out the chat right quick. Scotty Hall said, am I still banned? I don't think you are. Nth Degree Aerial Perspectives, Metal Mama, Zoe D. Sandy Carpenter has the wrench, Broken Reality. What's up? Enlightened Patriot, Fox 6789, and Brian Murray, Truth, A Voice in the Desert. I actually subscribe to his channel. You should listen to him. And Gypsy Jack and PlayStation says, happy Digress Day to all. Please give this a thumbs up and share, or don't. Give it a thumbs down and troll. It's your call. It's all good. I really don't care at this particular juncture in my life. What's up, the Organic Mechanic? Blog this. Vicky Cumber, Mark Stump, Crystal D, Celtic Rise, Rabbi Goldenstein Bergowitz is digressing indeed. David Rocha, whatever. Now, for all the people that want to, what's up, Philip James? For all the people that want to leave a comment after this is up and no longer live, that go, Richie, I had to scroll by when you were talking to everybody in the chat. Why do you do that? Because you know what? Some people, believe it or not, are having a really shitty day, and having some jackass with crappy Walmart glasses on talking into a laptop saying their name makes their day. If that helps, I'm all about it. So there's that. But I digress. At any rate, let's go. Check this out. Let me see if I can screen share this. I can. I am. This is incredibly overly difficult for no particular reason whatsoever at all. But what do you expect from YouTube? This right here, I believe I'm sharing. Am I? I am. So let's look at this real quick. We're watching an airplane chemtrail. We see it all the time. It's no big deal. It is what it is. It's what they do. Nobody seems to care. We're all seeing it, but nobody else is. So that's awesome. We can see it and they can't. You can point it out to them and they think you're a jackass, even though it's right directly in front of their faces. What is it these people are doing? Are they spraying the sky because there's a planet hiding behind the sun and they don't want anybody to see it? Are they spraying the sky so they can run frequencies through it and control people through 5G, cell phone towers, ELF towers, Gwen towers? Are they slowly killing us? Are we all breathing in nanoparticulates that are reassembling inside our bloodstream, latching onto blood vessels and changing our DNA? The long story, the quick answer, yes, to all of those. And I'm going to show you something in this that I can't quite explain the tie, but it makes sense to me. It might make sense to you. Who knows? When you go out after they've been chemtrailing like a champ all day and all night, sometimes the sky looks like leopard spots. You know what I'm saying? Or it has those crazy ripples in it. That is a telltale that they're running frequencies through it. This is sand right here that has frequencies. It's laying on top of a subwoofer, and they're running frequencies through it, and it's changing, and it's actually making ancient sacred geometry symbols. Do you see what I'm saying? You can play this so that it makes a perfect Star of David, or the two pyramids on Israel's flag that say as above, so below, or the Star of David, as they tell us. That's crazy. And it's all done with an invisible thing that you cannot see, like the things that Geordie Rose talks about, invisible dimensions, other resources of nature. Frequencies are something you can't necessarily see unless you add a medium like sand, grit, chemtrails, and then suddenly it makes itself known. Now, why am I saying this? I don't know. I was watching all this stuff. I was putting all this stuff together, and it just clicked to me. So now the reason I'm doing a live stream is because I'm telling you what you're seeing and what I'm seeing, and maybe somebody will fill in the blanks. because these guys are smashing us right now. It's absolutely unbelievable to me. When they came out in 2017 and David Keith said that we were going to start spraying the atmosphere to bounce the sun's rays back into outer space, so much of that statement that he put out was wrong. Outer space, I don't believe there is one. The sun, 93 million miles away, but somehow you can block it out with a cloud layer. None of that works either. The sun is very, very local. And I just put up a video today where somebody has caught the exact duplicate in the sky of the sun simulator, the patented sun simulator that I put out in 2015. This is strange. Camera's on, camera's off. Ah, there I am. That's very strange to me. Let me see if I can screen share that again. I might go rambling off on this. I don't even know, because I'm not exactly sure what I'm trying to say, but I'm still trying to say it. You see what I'm saying? At any rate, let's do this. Let me see if I can. I'm really killing it here. All right, here we go. I'm looking at the snow today, all right? I'm very, 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 very observant of everything around me at all times. I always have been. It's just what it is. I've noticed that when the sun comes down, the snow comes down, it doesn't look like snowflakes anymore. It's granulated particles. It's nucleated particles that look like magnesium. It's one of the two, sodium chloride or magnesium, whatever. I'm not going to pretend that I have a degree and I'm talking all this science shit. It looks like those little man-made rock salt particles, as opposed to the beautiful designs that they used to be. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, no two snowflakes are alike. And now we're surrounded by millennials that think that they're special little snowflakes. Do you see how far we've come and how fast it's happened? I've already got the comments. Richie, this was all debunked. That wasn't a real thing. Yeah, actually, that's completely, totally, 100% wrong. You can actually do this yourself if you can find clean, non-contaminated water on this earthly coil that we find ourselves in to do the testing. This right here by Dr. Emoto was done a long time ago. The water since then has been Fukushima. It's been BP oil spilled. It's been how many nuclear reactors dumping into rivers, into communities, all over the place. These guys are deliberately destroying the water. And somebody left a comment in the comment section that referred to the Bible and said living waters. And for whatever reason, no pun intended, that resonated with me. So they've purposefully poisoned the air. They've poisoned the food. They've changed food where it's not even food anymore. It's flavors. It's corn syrup and all sorts of flavors that when blobbed together taste like or look like food, somewhat, kind of. They've destroyed the air. And the beauty of it is no one even notices it. Just us assholes on a Saturday night in a chat know what's going on. How crazy is this? How absolutely crazy is this? God spoke us into existence indeed. In the beginning, there was the Word. The Word is frequency. God is so amazing that he can literally, with his own words, speak things into existence. And that frequency is still reverberating right now. And as a matter of fact, Candy, see, that's why we're doing a live stream. It would appear, see, this is a good one, that she just put that out there. What if they're chemtrailing right now to interrupt the frequency that God put out that is creating life right now? I've already thought, I don't even know how many times, that what if they're just trying to put a chemical layer or a web between us and Almighty God, so we lose our ability to pray to him? You know what I mean? Basically closing us off. But what if it's the other way around and they're putting chemtrails in the sky right now so that they can literally interrupt the transmission of God's frequency or the word that created us? I sounded like a preacher right then, didn't I? Crazy. So there's that. That's crazy. See, now I'm going to be thinking about that all night. But there's a reason. They're not blocking it out to stop global warming. Global warming doesn't even make sense. It's not even real. Climate change is a real thing, but climate change isn't a natural thing. our climate is changing because these jackasses have been spraying the sky for so long that it's screwing up all the weather. And then they're using NEXRAD, Doppler. They used to use HARP and HARP-like things. And they're stopping storms. They're moving storms. They're intensifying storms. And then they're using all sorts of crazy technology to set off things like the wildfires out in California. Again, 1:30 in the morning in what, 13, 16 different locations? Boom, all of a sudden, all sorts of places go up again. This is them. This is what they're doing. It's what they do. It's absolutely inane to me that people do not see this for what it is whatsoever at all. But again, I digress. I'm trying to screen share and I'm screwing it all up. I got way too many windows open, but let's see if I can do this. I think I did. I'm going to put a link. Oh, I can't put links in the description anymore, can I? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Not allowed. Not allowed. Can't put links in descriptions because that's no bueno. Let me try. Oh, it worked. Oh, my. All right. Well, it worked. Look at that. Let me see if I can do this again. Stand by, stand by. Well, my crew gets busy right here. There's another link. Look at that. Look at that. 661 watching. Nice. Don't do it. Skip over. 665. Skip it over. Nice. 670. All right. The lively locksmith says, what's up? 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗶𝗱. That's very clever. Heidi S. does not consent. NSA troll caused by methane leak at the Mastic frac. Yeah, it could be right. Who knows? Who knows? But the problem is one of my subscribers, several of my subscribers, and then several people that I know that live out there that are refused to wake up. The planes out there that are spraying, trying to put the fires out, are number 911 and then number 331, which if you break that down is 322. And then all the news keeps showing are things that have, you know, houses with pyramids on top. It's them. It's them basically. It's them basically letting us know who's behind it, even though we already knew anyways. But I feel it. You guys feel it. 2018 is 9/11. 2018 breaks down into 9/11 perfectly. These guys have been pushing and pushing and pushing, and the sheep are just swallowing it right up. No problem whatsoever at all. I would have to imagine that it's time. If this is showing up right now, I'm trying to show you this. Is it? Let me see if I can refresh this. It is. There you go. If you guys don't look into this stuff, when I first woke up, this is all I cared about was ancient Egypt, and it never dawned on me that we had a pyramid on the back of our dollar. It took quite a while, but I followed Graham Hancock, Brian Forrester, Dr. Robert Schoch, and I'm talking 8, 9, 10 years ago. I followed Graham Hancock all the way up to ayahuasca, and then I stopped because every time he did ayahuasca, he kept coming back and saying things like, a lovely, happy serpent surrounds me every time and squeezes me and does all this stuff. And I kept thinking to myself, yeah, if there's another life form out there that wants to introduce itself, it certainly wouldn't come in the form of a snake. One of the main things that everybody's afraid of, a snake. You see what I'm saying? So, but unlike so many commenters I get, I still respect his work because he's been inside the king's chamber. He's climbed the top of the pyramids. He's climbed the pyramids in the middle of the night at the risk of getting arrested with his wife. So he doesn't believe in Jesus. Okay, but he still has information I can't get anywhere else, not like that. So I listen to it. Too many people are under the impression that if I'm not going to listen to anybody unless they say every single solitary thing that I do, yeah, that's not going to happen. You know what you're going to do? You're going to end up sitting around, never finding anything out, pointing fingers in all directions and not looking at the ones pointing right back at you. But that's just my opinion. What do I know? Look at this technology. These guys cannot stop telling everybody. I mean, you go to college to learn the wrong information and you pay $250,000 to do so. They keep trying to tell us that ancient people, while they were, you know, trying to farm, keep a roof over their head, feed their families and not die off because of non-stop plagues and so forth. In their spare time, they built things like this that we still can't build to this day. Do you see this temple right here? This was carved into a mountain. They carved the mountain away. Do you understand what I'm saying? They didn't. It's a relief carving. This is unbelievable work. And this was, in my complete and total opinion, this was guided by the fallen angels. This was in worship to the fallen angels, and they were using what we would call magic. JMO, okay? If you don't believe that, that's fine. Go make a video about me. Thumbs down. Troll people in the chat section to show how good of a Christian you are, or whatever. That technology that you're looking at right now has made its way back again, but this time around, they're coming around in the form of technology, and you and everyone else in the chat, and pretty much even the asleep people, know it. Technology has in no way whatsoever at all, not even a little teeny tiny bit, brought us closer together. Yes, I can talk with somebody in Kentucky now. I can see them face to face. I can talk to somebody on the other side of the world. I can see pictures and everything else. That's great. Knowledge increases. But then along with the knowledge, so doesn't the disinformation. So doesn't the bullshit. So don't the lies. And then so don't the trolls. So there's a takeaway. You know what I mean? People sit at home and look at a computer to look at things like this. I've seen stars like this, for the most part, illuminaries, and they are alive. They are up there and moving. They're not distant suns, bazillions of miles away, that are, you know, the light's traveling for so long that the star's not even there. Absolute bullshit. Those are living entities, and they make themselves known. Try fixing a Nikon P900 or a telescope or a pair of astronomical binoculars on one of these things in the middle of the Moab desert like I did a couple of months ago, and they're moving. They're moving all around. They're definitely active. They have to stay in a particular location from what I've gathered from the Bible, but other than that, I don't know. People don't go outside and look up anymore. That's the beauty of the entire system. These guys are spraying the stuffing out of the sky and nobody sees it. And when you point out the painfully obvious, you're an asshole, because they're too busy looking down at their phones. You drive down the highway and people aren't even driving. They're looking at their cell phones or their tablets or whatever. Richie, you make videos. Yeah, you know what? I'm a really good driver. My video's on it's mounted to my windshield, and I barely look at it, and I'll never wear a seatbelt. So all those people that leave comments, Richie, put your seatbelt on. Apparently, you haven't been listening to me long enough, because I've already explained the seatbelt story, and I'm not going to explain it again, because if you can't do that little bit of research, then don't even comment. But again, I digress. They have tricked people so perfectly. Everything is working at a quantum level or a multifaceted level where they're spraying the skies, they're destroying everything around us, and meanwhile, they're slowly but surely sucking everyone into a virtual world, so they have no fear of people looking up and seeing things like this. Every single airplane in the sky is spraying, except after the sun goes down, they all stop spraying. They're all still up there, but there's no more tails coming out of the back. Explain that one. It's because they're done. They're moving on. They're following the sun. But again, I digress. All right, I'm getting a little worked up here. So let me jump back in the chat right quick. Give me some thumbs up. There's 900 people watching, 300 thumbs up. That's lame. Really, Rico? Really? Is that your idea of research? You're going to ask the chat why Richie doesn't wear seatbelts? Question mark, question mark. Do your research, dude. And then again, who cares? Who cares? Why would I want to wear a seatbelt? What do I? Oh, I want to live forever. No, not at all. This world sucks enough as far as they've gone right now. The world already sucks almost to the point where there really isn't any need to be here anymore. Check, please. I got to do what I do till I'm done, and that's it. So safety first. I jump off cliffs, and oh my God, have you guys ever seen what I do in my spare time? It's not something that I'm not trying to lengthen my life by any stretch of the imagination. I'm kind of an adrenaline junkie, a little bit. Okay, Matrix Sojourner says, NBC in lying, blah, blah, meteorologist banned me and said chemtrail. Yeah, at any rate. Okay, Bitcoin sucks. Yeah, but there sure are a lot of people Sure are a lot of people that are awake, that seem to have been awake, that are accepting Bitcoin. They're still talking about Bitcoin. I don't mean to get myself any more trolls, but guess what? Bitcoin and people tied to Bitcoin are paying YouTubers a lot of money. You can make a lot of money pushing that stuff, and I can't do it. I absolutely refuse to. I had that dude on one time and told you straight up I knew nothing about it until I started looking into it, and Bitcoin is exactly what we thought it was. It ain't good. So there's that. If you like to invest, if you've got that kind of money where you invest in things short term to flip it and all that crap, have at it, I guess. But I'd be buying gold, man. Gold, silver, and lead. But that's just me. At any rate. Yeah, so the Japanese scientists that did this a long time ago, water, absolutely. Water exposed to love, to beauty, to prayer, to honesty, responded well. When we were kids, that's how it would snow out. Now, when you look at it, snow doesn't have any shape. It's just this round white stuff that comes down, usually like hail. That's not normal. You know what I'm saying? And I would have to imagine there's so much negativity in the air at any given time with all the Wi-Fi. Certain people can actually hear the Wi-Fi. Other people are actually tormented by the Wi-Fi. I fall in both categories. I have tinnitus. No, you don't, man. My ears didn't used to ring all the time. They do all the time. And sometimes the frequency goes up and down so drastically, it can drop you. Imagine if they used it as a weapon. Imagine if they froze you in place where you cannot move and you can barely remember a prayer. It happens, and it's ugly, and it happens to a lot of us. It's one of their favorite weapons to use. But again, at any rate. 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗲𝗱. Did I just see his name? There's a lot of people in it. K Smalls, what's up, sister? Bronx Bamboo, Leisure Picker, Cool Hand Puke 2. Nice name. What's up, brother? I got a lot of people in Australia for some reason. I wish I could get there, man. Melanie Wood, no doubt. Pink Rose, Miss M. Yeah, they say that. I haven't been able to actually ignite any snow. But you know what I am gonna do? I'm gonna run water through the Big Berkey and see if it works. See if it works. But how am I going to isolate it so that there's no Wi-Fi signal polluting it? You know what I mean? It's not easy. So I tried to send in some stuff. A guy sent me from the UK, and he put a video up about it, and there was strands like spider webs in the grass, and he sent some of them to that institute. It escapes me right now. The begins with a C. The I can't think of the name. At any rate, here you go. Here you go. There you go. You don't know how to act right in front of people? You can go away now. How's that? Unbelievable. People are just rude. At any rate, it is what it is. Is it the Carnegie Institute? It's not, is it? At any rate, I tried to find a lab that wouldn't charge $50,000 to test what this was, and everybody refused. So they're not going to do anything like that. So I'm going to try to do the thing with the water test by running it through a Big Berkey. But I mean, even a Big Berkey is not going to remove everything. And again, like I said before, I can't prove that it removes anything. It might just be really slow filtered water that's full of a bunch of crap. And then how am I going to test it with frequencies that aren't polluted by the Wi-Fi soup that we live in right now? Everything is frequency, going right back to what the commenter Candy said. God spoke everything into existence. You think it's a coincidence that at the end, the adversary, the devil, Satan, Lucifer, Hasatan, whatever you want to call him, is doing the exact same thing with 5G and worse? You know what I'm saying? The exact same thing. He's mimicking creation in reverse. And now that he's putting up the 5G system, I'm going to have to say that's the end of the road. I don't want to be around here anyways, because my biggest fear is they're going to flip a switch and we're not going to remember from the point that the switch flips before or after. Do you understand my intro now? Get it? before and after. If they flip the switch and they override your mind and memories, it would be like living in 1984 and you would never know that we lived anything prior to that. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't distill water because then you're just killing it. You're just drinking nothing. You know what I mean? Do you, but I'm not doing it. So there's that. At any rate, what else did I want to show you? I always want to do a live stream. I always have these great ideas and then I forget them as soon as I go live. Wildfires, ancient Egypt. Oh yeah. All right. You know what I wanted to show you? This. I probably already made the connection. I can't quite find it, but when I do, I'll turn it into a video. I'm working on a good video right now, but it takes forever. You see these obelisks and why these rich people are just infatuated with them? Why there's an Egyptian obelisk in front of the Vatican with a cross on top? Why these things are everywhere and why they're made out of rose granite, some of the strongest, most conductive stone material on the planet? These are cell phone towers. These are 5G. Back in the golden age, quote unquote, what these guys are trying to recreate right now, the fifth age, these were connecting all across the land, obelisk to obelisk, just like these. Same. These two are one and the same, which is why they value these so much, why every building of prominence, you know, every elitist building in the world has an obelisk sitting in front of it. They're everywhere. You know what I mean? This is exactly how they transferred power. We're not evolved. We're not the top of the line. We're like Trey Smith says, a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. And no, I don't agree with anything. I don't agree with a lot of stuff Trey says, but he's brilliant. You know what I mean? As far as all this goes, I've listened to everything he's ever said, but I don't believe in his politics. But you know what? I take it and leave the rest. So there's that. These two things that we're looking at right now, stone obelisk and steel cell phone towers, are exactly identical. And as far as the history of Egypt and the people that came here before Egypt, the Sumerians, everything else, that's all hearsay. We don't know any of that. You know what I mean? We don't know any of that's true. For all we know, everything started 100 years ago. You know what I mean? They could be lying about absolutely everything. We don't know. Unless you have access to written texts that you can literally verify are hundreds or thousands of years old. The older I get, the more I realize that everything they've ever told us and everything we've ever done for whatever reason is always wrapped up in a lie. These guys are trying to control an enormous, diverse amount of people, and they don't want to just control us so we all go to work and we all pay taxes, we all do this, we all do that. They did that for a while and they kind of let us do their thing, but now they want to control us as in owning our souls and having us all burn in hell along with them, because they've made a deal. There's no other reason in the world you would possibly come up with to, the world is just so overpopulated, it's ridiculous. So in order to justify that or remedy that, we're going to build exactly 100% human-like robots, thousands and thousands of them, and then make them smarter than people. What could possibly go wrong? You see what I'm saying? None of this is a natural progression. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me that every single solitary scientist and everybody else, every time they come out to talk about these things, they have some sort of a symbol on them, much like you'd find, oh, I don't know, on the side of an obelisk. You dig what I'm saying? These guys, they all go through their colleges, they all get quote unquote tapped, they all end up in their little secret societies, and then they spread out like the cancer that they are. And in 2017, they have come out like we have never seen them before. They've come out on all fronts. And I got a funny feeling 2018 is going to be no joke. And that's just all there is to it. So that's pretty much as far as I'm going with this right now, I think, unless something else sparks me. Robert Jones says they are spraying us. Robert, they are spraying us absolutely everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. You know what I mean? They're literally encasing our entire living space. Round, flat, square, triangle. It doesn't really make any difference at this time. I don't happen to think that it's round. I don't think that we're sitting in the middle of space in a vacuum, rocketing around the sun. But you know what? I also don't push that. So for those little ducks out there, Richie pushes flatter. Yeah, actually, I really don't talk too much about it because it's not the most important thing. You know what the most important thing is? Food, water, air, and why they're stepping up their attack on it. We need those things, or as God-made beings, we start to break down exponentially, which is already happening. Don't believe me? Pop into a Walmart anytime and see how we're doing as a humanity. At any rate, love you guys. I am out. Richie from Boston. Like, share, subscribe, or make a video about me. I'm out.